This is Wonderful Living live. Okay. The world of happiness, the world of wonderful happening is happening always. No one can stop this from happening. That's the beauty of living. No one can stop this from happening continuously. The continuity itself is happening on its own. That's the beauty of wonderful living. Quite simple. The happening itself is making it happen continuously. That's why it is very simple. There is no other reason other than the reason itself making this possible. As we feel the expansion contraction, within that expansion contraction, you can feel the reason of being very slowly but steadily. The happening is happening from very silence itself. Just to feel it. You don't have to explain it. You have to sense it. Coming. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. So this is Wonderful Living,
Yes.
and we're talking with Abhiraj, Wonderful Living from Jaipur. Jaipur.
Jaipur. Yes.
So
Hello. Hello. Hello, Sebastian. Hello,
hi.
Shafi.
Yes.
Just a second. I think there's somebody at the door. I'll just take
Okay.
care of
Okay. Take care of the door.
it.
Take all your time. It's not about Indian or African or American. It's about life. Life cannot be labeled Indian, American. This is life happening. It's happening continuously. What is the authority of life? Nothing is the authority of life. The authority of life is nothingness. So you don't have to compare oneself with anything because everything is the same. No comparison required. The sense of living, there is no comparison required. When we compare, we are developing an unwanted memory, unwanted intelligence, which is not compatible with the process of being. The simple capacity to live is without comparison. This is just life. Well, yogi is something that which should be experienced by everyone. One should be an yogi always. One should always be an yogi. Without that yogic state, one cannot sustain in that given space. That yogic state is the most important state of being. Whatever is making everything possible is that yogic state, is the merging of everything together as one, not as many. So being an yogi means you are living. The yogic state gives us the capacity to live our life wonderfully. Whatever is born is maintained perfectly. The continuity of happening is perfectly under the sense that is an yogi. So be an yogi without claiming to be an yogi. It's not a claim, it's just an experience. The yogic state is an experience. It's a wonderful experience. Aha. The formation itself is giving a dynamic information where there is no sickness, there's no disease, there's no stress, no struggle, no unwanted, hidden memories, messages, nothing. That is the yogic state. Everything is clear, clear as water, pure, divine water, divinity of the space. The space is divine. It is very clear. That's why we see things. Similar should be the experience. It's showing us how we are. The experience is showing us how we are. It is not by practice, it's by living. We don't have to practice. Living is not a practice, living is living itself. It's always happening. Aha. When you're sleeping, when you are tired, when you are eating, when you are drinking, whatever you are doing, the yogic state is continuously happening. The yoga is continuously happening. It's not by practice, it's simply by living. The formation, when we consider the formation as our information, from where we get the real information is from our formation. It's continuously happening. Everything is connected, knitted together to happen as such. So stay connected with the most subtle aspect of being. The gross is there. There is nothing wrong with the gross, neither with the subtle. It's a combination working together, and that working together gives us the most wonderful experience of living. Living gets the most gracious, beautiful experience. It's very simple. The sound that we project, the sound that is projected from us, is because we are connected with the space. The voice, only with space you will have the sound. There is no sound. Is a subtle experience brought into one's awareness. That is where the sound is generated from. So listen to oneself. When you can listen to yourself, when you can listen to oneself, listen to your own self. When you start listening to your own self, then you are having the right capacity to keep going. When you are capable of listening to your own self, you have attained a capacity to sustain with clarity. If you're listening to others, you will never have the capacity to remain stable with the living. Only when you start listening to your own self, only when you can hear your own self, that is the moment of realizing how rich your living is. The real responsibility of living has started there only, where you can listen to your own self, when you can feel your own body system. That's the moment of realizing how wonderful one is. You can feel many things around, but feeling your own self is the beginning to understand how life is happening. The education of the universe has started. When you are educated by someone, you are always a servant to someone or something. When you are educated by your own self, that is the real education. That is the real understanding. You start to understand how you are. That's the beauty of living. It's the most convenient, wonderful way to maintain. Nothing ever can go wrong in this maintenance of living. Living is wonderfully happening round and round the clock. It's very simple. And simple is always powerful. That yogic state, that yogic state is very important. The union of the known and the unknown together. The union of the known and the unknown together. The union of the everything is the most wonderful thing. Nothing can ever go wrong. Never can. It's happening always. Within that expansion contraction, one can feel. Within that expansion contraction, one can feel. Within the expansion contraction, one can feel the oneness happening continuously. As we focus into that oneness, how you can focus into the oneness? By focusing into the expansion contraction continuously happening, which will give us the capacity to get connected with everything that is happening in an order. Very simple. You alone, Aharon. Yes.
Are you yogi?
Ah, yes. Big state. So many activities are going around. But what activity is making one possible? The creation. This environment is convenient for creation. So one should be very careful. Many varieties of creation can happen. We are born, that's the process of creation. And if you're born, your responsibility it is to maintain with clarity of how I am. If I'm born, then it's my responsibility not to give birth to anything else within my mind or within myself. That is the most reliable capacity. So death is not easily possible, but birth is very easily possible. So beware. Nothing else should be born within you. Your state of mind should be perfectly clear, void of all the contaminations that can be born within yourself. Never let, never let anything be born within you. Your birth itself should be perfectly maintained. Maintaining within that given space. That is the yogic should happen. So that one will always be maintaining. That oneness is continuously maintained. That is the yogic state. never letting any imagination or any assumption or accumulation of it means is yogi means is continuously full-time active observation without any fluctuation. That is in a yogic state, always aligning with that process of creation. Is the most simplest, the most powerful way to maintain oneself in the given space. And yogic state is the most wonderful state to be. There's no other state is possible. Whether you are a husband, whether you are a prime minister, president, or any other state is not suitable. Wanted and illuminates the wanted continuously. And the required will come to the yogic state. So yoga is not by practice, it's by living. Yoga is not by practice. No one can practice yoga. You have to live to have that yogic state within your own experience. It's not by denying anything. It's not by trying to control anything. It's by letting go of everything and understanding to merge with everything that is happening wonderfully always. That is an yogic state. If you are diseased, that means you are not in yoga. You have got problem, you have got dreams, you are haunted, you are not in yoga. You have to be in yoga, connected with everything that is making one possible. There are varieties of ranges of capacity in with association. Association with the mother is a one lovely practice to begin with. Practice with your mother, your food, or with your that comes into you, or that is triggering you. Practice with anything to reach into this yogic state, or with nothing. Immense. The position is only oneness. Everything is happening on its own, every moment. We can never stop this from happening. It is wise to understand whatever is making this possible. It's simply surrendering all your whims and wants and understanding whatever is making this possibility. We are we are the requirement. We are the requirement. We should know how this we is possible. How this we is possible. That's where the yoga, that's the requirement of yoga. Yoga is a continuous process. It's not a temporary process. There is no definition. It's a few always campaigning. The process of living is always connected with the togetherness, not with separation. It's very simple. You are free to ask if you feel like asking questions. All questions are having only one answer. Start living.
No questions, no questions. It's just light exploding inside my head.
No conform. Superbly perfect. For me, how it was yesterday, not going to be tomorrow. It's not about tomorrow or the day after. It's going to happen on and on continuously. So there is no question of what tomorrow can be. There's no conflict tomorrow or the day after. This is how it is happening now. If this is how it is happening, the if will be taken away. There's no ifs. This is continuously. To get for me, we just have to know this now. Now is the opportunity. Now, whatever is happening now. It's not historical. Living is not based on history. We are living. Eight two. Triple. We are always alone. We are always alone.
Yeah, we are always on. Like it cannot be turned off.
Yes, we are always on and alone. And that loneliness itself is the most wonderful. That loneliness itself is the most wonderful state of understanding the state itself. The loneliness itself is sufficient to know the beauty of oneself. With everyone and everything around, still that loneliness is a beautiful state. Still, with everything around, the loneliness is the most affordable way to maintain one's life wonderfully. The loneliness of living is the most beautiful thing. Nothing and no one can come and meddle with it. It's beautifully happening. And this happening will keep on happening. Whether you are rich, poor, or this way positioned, or that way positioned, or whatever way you are positioned, the process is always the same. The rich and the poor, the wise and the wicked, all are having the same opportunity in the living. Focus on the expansion, contraction continuously. You will understand the beauty of creation, never ever stopping. Beauty of creation is happening like this, and like this, and like those. Ev- Everything, everywhere. The beauty of creation is happening.
My creation is like that. Buildings. I'll be there in Kerala, like next month. I'll be there. I'll be
Okay,
staying. Akshay.
okay. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Stay tuned. We are always together.
Yes.
Okay. Bye bye.
Right.